Now, the signing of the National Infrastructure Bill into law will go a long way in curing the fiscal challenges faced by the country in its quest to meet infrastructure demand without increasing the public debt even further. Public debt, which currently stands at 67% of GDP, consumes more than half of the total revenue collected in debt service. Jimmy Mbogo has more details.
As the infrastructure demand in the country continues to grow, so does the need for new and affordable capital-raising structures. According to the government, Kenya continues to face high costs of capital in the international market in its quest to meet its infrastructure demand, with President William Ruto now saying that the country requires upwards of $4 billion or approximately 516.8 billion shillings annually to meet its infrastructure requirements. However, owing to risk posed by sovereign debt, the country has been forced to pivot and look for more domestic solutions, such as the National Infrastructure Fund.
A decade ago, Africa, Kenya included, believed it had found a once-in-a-generation opportunity to accelerate infrastructure development. Global interest rates were historically low following the global financial crisis. The China's Belt and Road Initiative opened new sources of infrastructure financing. But we did not fully anticipate the risks of relying so heavily on sovereign debt. And certainly, none of us could have foreseen the shocks that would soon follow.
It is this over-reliance on external borrowing that the government is keen to undo, with President Ruto highlighting the discrepancies in the global pricing model for African countries and the rest of the world, an issue that he says has forced African states such as Kenya to continue to bear the brunt of high costs of credit at the expense of their own development.
Just look at the unfairness. Our default rate is 5.5%. In Latin America, it is 14.5%. Yet, when we go to the market, we are told we are much more risky investment destination than Latin America. Where is the sense? Where is the fairness? And that is precisely what this National Infrastructure Fund is going to solve.
Beside the proceeds from the privatization of public entities, which is expected to form bulk of the National Infrastructure Fund, the government intends to capitalize on the private sector by tapping into the 2.8 trillion shillings in pension funds and other private sector investments. This, the government argues, will offer investors good return, create jobs, while addressing the high cost of debt service, noting that this is patient capital that can be used for national development.
It's very important, Your Excellency, that the private sector is involved. We want to participate. We request your government to continue inviting us to the table. We've seen that, coming through. We as a banking sector are willing to fund commercially viable projects, and we will definitely show up.
So this allows us to participate in the growth of our country, and it is this growth that will then widen the private sector and again enable us to invest some more.
Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.